Time is never enough. All right. What's happening? Oh man. So hi. Oh, here we are. So what's up, y'all? It's D Ramsey. Let me tell you something. Mm, there is a fly. There is a fly in this apartment. Yes, it is. Do that right or does it matter? I don't think it matters. Hey, hi. So there's a fly here, and it's making me very unhappy, but we're not going to let it bring us down. Hey, Miss Parker. Hey, babies. How are you all beautiful, beautiful people doing? It is my Friday. Some cold water today. Mm, mm, with some lemon, honey. How is everybody? I hope everybody's doing good, honey. There is so much going on. So much going on. I have so much to share with you. Lots. Lots to change. You know, if it's July 12th, 2022 right now, and we can look at the world and go, oh my gosh, the world is something else, right? For us living right now, it feels like it is prophecy, the end of the world. Hey, buddy B. Um, how many of you know that there is a new Wonder Years? That the Wonder Years has done a remake. It's out on Hulu. I don't know what channel, but I know Hulu has it. There is a new Wonder Years. Has anyone seen it? I haven't watched all of it, but I have watched the first episode and the opening montage, and I do know who these people are. So let me know if you've seen it. Okay. The reason I bring it up is because you heard about it. Okay. Thank you, Miss Parker. Is because it is a the brown people version. But the opening montage says, there's a terrible virus going on that could possibly be taking us out. There's war going on everywhere, and we're on the brink of nuclear war. But the year was 1968, right? It wasn't the current year. But the montage sounded like he could have been saying it's right now. And someone also said to me, he said, in the earlier 60s, I think it was the 66, no, because when did he get assassinated? 64, 63, was it? The Bay of Pigs was another nuclear thing in terms of that was hanging over your heads as a person, as a being. World War II, of course, those children. The idea of it being the end times and the end of the world is nothing new, is my point. It is nothing new. It feels like it collectively, in terms of the collective consciousness, though, there seems to be some changes, some differences. A lot more people seem to be aware of the matrix in a way that they had not been prior, to my knowledge. A lot more people are awake, and I mean profoundly, and questioning things and looking at shit, and then the world itself. So when I look at things and I go, okay, people are dramatic, right? That's what we do. We're Chicken Little. The sky is motherfucking falling all the time. But when I look at this world, right, the matrix, this world right now, right, and I think, okay, this is the year 2022. And I think about my personal self, my personal selfhood, and I place myself in his story and or the records of the past. And I go, if I just look at my life, right? I was born in 1968. 1968 is a very pivotal year in the story told by the victor. His story from 1968 and all that I've ever known is that this was a very tumultuous year in the story of America. America was growing up, and its um, children were disillusioned in a way. They had become disillusioned in a way that they hadn't been before. There's many books written on 1968. 1968 is the year that the war machine, in terms of the televised war machine, was given to us in prime time in 1968. The Vietnam War was at the height. The Tet Offensive occurred in 1968. The political unrest, the civil unrest. I was in the womb in April of 1968 when Martin Luther King was taken. So all of this energy about 1968, if you go back to just 1950, and you think about how repressed and different and wholesome 1950 was portraying itself to be. And then those people born in 1950 became 18 in 1968. So this idealized version of history, of war even, that they had been given about World War II, even to this day, World War II is romanticized as some fucking other shit than what it really was, okay? But in our mind's eye, historically, with these visions we've been given by Hollywood, because that's where else have we gotten them in history and books? Someone told us these stories and these events occurred. We don't know, but that's what they say, and they've romanticized it. So in our minds, right now, if you think of World War II, I don't know what you're thinking about, but I can tell you the images that are coming to me right now. World War II, boom. Without a doubt, I am thinking of the soldier kissing the nurse, bending her over in Times Square. Like that image, that Life magazine image is literally ingrained to my subconscious as an ideal, right? As something. There's this all kind of, I am not going to go on a rant about mind control and the images that you remember and how the fuck you remember them and what you think. And you go, how the fuck why do I think that? And then you trace, you'd be like, you don't know. Them thoughts are not original thoughts, right? Any image I have about World War II is come from movies and TVs and motherfucking magazines and work and some other shit some other motherfucker said. I don't know what the fuck happened. So the World War II shit, these kids grow up hearing these stories, right? And then somewhere along the way, the 60s begin, right? Between 1960 and 1968, something happened to these children, right? LSD, marijuana, free love, the assassination of their leaders, the people they loved, starting first his story, Kennedy, the death of their ideals, the absolute the murderation of the idea that they could make a change and it'd be good and it'd be pure and they can just move shit along. They literally murdered that idea in the street for everyone to see, and publicized it and casted broadly for all of us to see. Then right after they killed the dream in the white guy, they then went and killed the other dream in the black guy, and that was Bobby Kennedy, right? Really fucked the westernized, idealized version of what a utopian society might look like. Like we might be equal, and it ain't got nothing to do with racism, and somehow it might be economically, empowering, and somehow we're all going to live together. All that shit infused by a lot of drugs. All that shit infused by a lot of drugs. Came to a screeching halt, right? And it really slammed by the time, the Kent University massacre happened. That really fucked them up. Really, and when we talk about fuck them up, we talk about, middle class white America who were still believing in their country taking care of them. They realized, we'll kill you niggas too. We're gonna shoot you suckers too. We don't give a fuck. You're gonna do what we say do, and that's what it is. If you know anything about the Reagans, oh my goodness, the Reagans, that's a really great documentary. Please watch it. If you know anything about the history of California in the 60s and that whole thing and the birth of conservatism in America, and them, the Reagans, and the shit they pulled in California with the militarization of the troops against protesters, peaceful teenagers, your babies, you love them. You done raise your babies to pay their taxes and put their hand over their heart to pledge their motherfucking allegiance to the flag, bitch. But let me tell you, in the 60s, they realized the flag is going to call your kids up. They don't give a fuck. Send them off to die for some shit that ain't got nothing to do with nothing but whatever the fuck they say. And that the adults began to rebel and go, that sounds crazy, because it was being televised to them. They were like, wait a minute now. Muhammad Ali, which ironically, I find it so ironic that people today absolutely revere. When you talk to people and you ask them about Muhammad Ali, and I say people, I'm going to bring up someone in particular, person that I know. This person is a conservative Christian person, and that is not a dig. That's a shout out to them. From northern North Carolina. Their father was a professional. I believe he was a dentist or something. He may have been a mason. I don't know. I don't know if either his father or perhaps his other father. I think either one of them might have been a Klan member. I don't know, but they seem to be very nice people now. Okay, they seem to be very nice people now, bitch. But are y'all still with me? These people are cooling the fan. Are y'all there? I ain't gonna keep talking if you ain't. Just lovely. Oh, the Mandela effect. Hey, Miss Just Lovely. Anyway, these people, I done forgot my damn story, child, and went off to left field, child. Okay, hold on. Mandisa. Oh, fuck. I don't forgot. I be off on a motherfucking tangent, bitch. Oh, what was I talking about, y'all? Shit, I was rolling too, and it was going good. Somebody tell me what's the last thing I was talking about. I know I was talking about a person, but I was trying to change it up to not tip who I was talking about, and I went down a path to try and change it, and it threw my ass off. What's up, Mr. Marcus? How you doing, Boonski? Fuck, I forgot what the fuck my original thought was. Goddamn, I went down a tunnel, bitch. Look, goddamn, y'all gonna daddy or grandpa or clan or Mason? Yes, him. But what was I talking about though? I know who I'm talking about, but I'm trying to remember what my point was by bringing them up. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Storm. I love y'all. Y'all my niggas. how some folks are Malcolm X, but they Christian. Oh my God, so many of those. So many of those, which again, I am never going to be mad at you. I'm never going to be mad at who you choose. I don't care. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm trying to remember what the original point of me bringing them up was. Which I still can't fucking remember. I don't remember what my original point was. Hey, Trinity. I love it. Anyway, shit. I know we're talking about the end of the world. End of the world. People talking about the end of the world. I'm gonna have to reconstruct the shit all the way from the fucking beginning. Is this the end of the world? From the time and disillusionment. My motherfucking Muhammad Ali, buddy beat. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, this nigga whose daddy I think is either Ku Klux Klan or whatever. They love motherfucking Muhammad Ali. Love this nigga. But they love the idea of who Muhammad Ali has become as a icon, modern day, right? How do I know this? Because I've watched these motherfuckers. This same Christian conservative white guy / one generation removed from being a Ku Klux Klan member. I am sure of it. I'm sure. Fair sure. Loves motherfucking Muhammad Ali. Bitch, but hates motherfucking Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick is a motherfucking problem. And when I hear him so wonderfully, peacefully, and beautifully justify the racism in the undertones that he takes, it's scrumptious, bitch. I just listen, I go. Because then he starts to talk about the rights of an employer and what they do to sanction an employee. I was like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. Is that right? But you love Muhammad Ali, who said, I will not go to war to fight against people who look like me and are brown. I will not be sent there by white devils. You white devils are profiting off of me killing my brown brother. You're going to stop me from hitting and fighting anybody in order to feed my wife and my children. But you want to ship me into a jungle to kill my brown brothers for motherfucking free. Bitch, I say no. Fuck you, and I'm going to prison, bitch, because that's what you sentenced me to do. You love this nigga, but you mad at the modern day right now motherfucker who says, hey guys, I just want to bring some attention to this police brutality. So, I know that the national anthem is standing for all this equality, but I'm saying, hey, until we are actually utilizing this freedom to be for everybody, I'm going to kneel as a respectful form of protest instead of stand in allegiance. Him, you don't like this motherfucker, but you say you love Muhammad Ali. I kiki and kakai, bitch, because no, Mr. White Man. I get it. But what you are in love with, again, is an idea of Muhammad Ali, who you know now, who is incapacitated. This is before he had crossed over. He's incapacitated now. This is an old man. He ain't 23 years old now, right? It's Mike Tyson all the fuck over again. I was there. The idea that motherfuckers are talking about they're in love with a Muhammad Ali, but they hate a Colin Kaepernick, and they go through all these machinations that I'm like, you don't need to work so hard to try and over-explain your internal racism or internal fucking whatever shit you got going on. It's all good, nigga. But when you're talking about, is it the end of the world? I be trying to figure out what world is ending and for whom. And like, we can get deep with the shit. We can get real deep with the shit, right? Because I'm bringing up the end of the world and fucking what that means. And again, I don't watch the news. I literally am only, I do watch a ton of YouTube though, and I do. Right now, I'm hooked on camping YouTubes because I have some announcements that will be coming up soon. I will be taking you all on the full journey of everything. As you already know, I'm going on a sabbatical to Mexico. You already know that I'm planning that. How did you react to your description of Colin? And then I'm gonna read that in a minute. And then I'm also doing some other stuff where I'll be camping and taking my vehicles, and I'm also going to be taking and purchasing a cargo trailer and housing it and converting it to take with me when I want to go out by myself, and I ain't got to worry about nobody else. I don't need nobody else but me and my little Bronco Sport, okay, or my Maverick, because I do have a 2022 Maverick that is in on order and should be, is I believe I got an email that's been shipped, so it's en route. Because those are small, and for those two vehicles was the price of the one F-150 I got back and got some money for. So do with that what you will. Let's see, just lovely. How did he react to your description of Colin Kaepernick? I never described Colin Kaepernick to him. I don't have those conversations with people like that. I can, let me tell you something. I am of a particular age, and what comes with my age is wisdom. Wisdom. Oh, I'm so grateful for it. I don't have conversations with people necessarily about what they got going on. I know who you are. You done already made it clear because you have your little meetings and powwows and kikis and kakas, bitch. I hear you. I don't go where you are. If I see you all gathered at the water fountain, guess which water fountain I avoid? I don't go to that water fountain. Matter of fact, I bring my own water. Yes, I do. And I put some fresh squeezed lemon in my water, baby. And I don't go over there. I don't go over there. And I don't congregate. I don't have those conversations. I am nowhere around when it occurs. Never. Now, if for some chance I am around, I generally will make a stand if I must, if I feel compelled. And I usually come from a spiritual perspective. You know what I'm saying? I try not to get caught up in race with people. It's so stupid. I have such a huge I have such a fucking huge panoramic mama view of the shit. It would fuck niggas up of any race to know what the fuck I really think. Okay? How the way I really give it up. I don't want to fuck nobody head up. I'm gonna give it to you hoes though. I'm gonna give it to you. Probably gonna give it to y'all within the next. It won't be in the next. Which month is this? 12 months, but definitely within the next 18. And because I got a plan. I have a plan. But I just wanted to come on here because I know a lot of people are going through your age group. Is awesome being a teen in the 80s. Thank you, dear Nadia. You know, I joked with someone that I couldn't have imagined that I think the 80s was a good time, and it wasn't, right? It was a bad time. But it was a time prior to the advent of social media. And what I mean by that is the 80s was a horrible time. I remember 1981. I remember when Ronald Reagan was elected, and I remember the actual effect. I was very young, very young. I was only, if I would have been 10 and 78 with the 12 going into 13, very young, but very aware. I remember when those cuts, the thing that, please, if you have a moment, please watch the Reagans. It's about 4 or 5, I think it's only 4 parts. I don't remember who it's streaming with now, but it's fucking amazing. It tells you it gives you the real breakdown of the puppetry, the people behind the mask, the people behind the modern movement, the people, what their real philosophy is. It really fucking gets down. It gets down to the Bubba vote and how he went to the racism and how he went to the South and they got that modern lock that the South now has as Republicans. That didn't used to be the case. You know, they used to be called Dixie Democrats, whatever. And the Democrats are horrible. They're both horrible. Republicans are horrible. Democrats, they're all fucking horrible. Every one of them. But I'm just telling you that docuseries gives you a really good background into the shit that was happening behind the scenes. And what I can tell you is, as just a kid, I remember feeling it. I remember when they cut the CETA program. I remember when they were like, I remember when he cut interest rate, being able to write off interest rates. I remember that being a big deal. You used to could write off the interest that your credit card company charged you as a tax credit. And I remember when he killed all that shit. I remember there was a rash of something all of a sudden called homelessness that apparently, I mean, as long as people have been alive, there's been homelessness. Some people don't want to fucking pay to be in a house, which is so, anyway, I'm not even going to get started. And then, of course, we had this thing. I remember because in 1985, I had already heard about it, but I had to be tested because I was going into the United States Marine Corps, and it was something called the Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome, which the acronym later shortened was AIDS. And that we had that in the 80s. So inflation was fucking high as a bitch. Interest rates to buy a house, people are like, oh my God, I'm paying, interest rates have gone from 3 to 5 to 6. That's high. But I remember refinancing people out of 12, 14, and 15% to put them into 6, 7, and 8%. So your parents was paying, not your parents, probably your grandparents now were paying 20%, 18% in the 80s. It was so fucking hard to buy a house. I'm just telling you the shit that was going on in the 80s. We look back now and think it was great. No, the fuck it wasn't. It was hard as shit. The 80s was a bastard. The crack epidemic was just getting into full swing. And if you've watched Snowfall, which I have not watched, but apparently it's where the CIA comes clean and tells you, hey, niggas, we tried to kill you niggas again with crack cocaine. And we elicited, here are your people. We bankrolled the whole thing. The Iran-Contra shit, we shipped in, we bought dopes from them to buy guns to arm another motherfucker to kill another motherfucker. But while we also arming your ass so you can kill yourself and then kill yourself and separate your families, like, you feel me? So no, the 80s were fucked up too. It's just that we're far removed from them now. So we tend to look back, hey, Miss Fee, with a nostalgia that is not necessarily rooted in reality. So here are the things that I say I do appreciate about being a child of the 80s. 1, no social media. Meaning, when I left to go, wherever I went to leave to go do throughout the day, if I was 16 years old, I left to go do it. I got up. I might meet up with my friends. I go to school if it's a school day. We may ditch, whatever the fuck. We would leave high school and get on the bus, literally, go to the mall, walk around the mall, goddamn day, get an ice cream cone, hang out, walk over to the library, because that's a thing. For you kids who don't know what a library is or was, it's a huge building with books. And you would go in there and you go and you find a book and you go in a section. Quietly, you talk to each other, you'd hang out, you read, you kiki, you leave there, you get back on the bus, you take your bus back to where you lived. Or you may have had no money and then you walked, you ditched school still. Now, ditching is important. You left, you might have got a ride with somebody to somewhere. You walked around all fucking day. You didn't have no bus fare. And then you walked your ass all the way back. And if it was Saturday, you could leave your house at 9 o'clock in the morning or whenever the fuck you left. Let's say noon, because real life is Saturday, you might have spent the night, or somebody spent the night, you or whatever, but you're gonna get up Saturday morning, you're gonna do your damn chores and get all that shit done. Depending on what's going on, you're gonna leave 10:30, 11, by 12, you out. And you're gonna get on the bus or go whatever the fuck. Nobody knows. There ain't no phone on you. You are out. You're going wherever the fuck. 16, 17. Oh my God. I'd go to my boyfriend's house. He would turn me on to porn. That's we started. That's what I learned what a Long Island iced tea was, bitch. Bitch, I was 16, bitch, and my man was 21. Okay. I would sneak out and he would pick me up in his little IROC. I love that car. Okay. Bitch. And that's what I learned what a Long Island iced tea was. See, but wasn't nobody clocking me, right? There was nobody taking pictures, no one posting or even know where I was. I had anonymity. We was out there. We was wilding. We was doing whatever the fuck. So listen, I'd have my little Long Island iced tea. He would put in the VHS tape. That's how you know, right? That's how you know. He would put in the VHS tape and we would watch the naked people. And then, I was a very good student, bitch. I would be watching the naked people. And then depending on whatever we had going on, he might drop me out back at school. Then I would go back in the sixth period. School would be over. And then I'd go home. My point is, me and my best friend, we could do all this wild shit in 83, 84, 85, 86. I'm telling y'all now, nobody knew what was happening. We did some wild shit. Like, I remember one of our things we used to do. I remember her boyfriend came and got her, and she called. And again, this is before cell phones, so to this day, I don't know. I don't know if we hatched this shit before she left, but I think she called me on the phone and told me what to do. So she was coming back, but she was gonna leave. She was gonna come back, but it would be super early in the morning. We got to go to school, but she been all out all night with her boyfriend. So we hatched a plan. So what I did was I took her change of clothes. I took her pants, her shirt, her panties, and her socks, balled them up real tight, and I got up super fucking early, like dark 30. Boop, 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 boop. I come out the house, go around, and I take her change of clothes and I put it in the mailbox to the house. Then her boyfriend, when they leave his house, okay, they leave because see now she been hiding at her because his mama came in the room. They leave his house. It's super dark 30. They leave. They come across town. Boo boo. They stop at our house. They pick up her clothes. They change. She changes. Boo boo boo. He drops her off at school. Everybody's at school. They meet me at school. Everybody happy. But again, no way to find out. Like, I didn't have a bad reputation. She didn't have a bad reputation. Like, the idea that people are talking and telling business and it's like, ooh, like, that's what the 80s gave for me. We would leave the house at night and then walk around. We would fucking walk around. Oh, we would walk. We were in the suburbs. We lived in Pasadena. We would walk all the fucking way up the street, all on a stealth operation. Okay, all the way up. And don't let me find nobody that had a car. One of our friends would come with a car, take us to their house. BET had just begun, Black Entertainment Television, and so they would play videos. Oh my God, you couldn't see music videos anywhere at the time. I remember smoking Player cigarettes. Who remembers Player cigarettes? Because it was called Players and the box was black, I was like, I'm gonna try those. I'm like fucking 15 years old, French inhaling Player cigarettes at the park at 3 o'clock in the morning. Because we would leave and we would just walk. We would go to the park, we'd hang out. But again, I grew up in Southern California, so I have a different experience in terms of being able to be out all times of the night because of the weather. But I've talked to lots of people who've grown up in lots of places, and that was a common teenage thing to my understanding. Teenagers have been sneaking out forever, especially foster kids. Foster kids, we know how to get in and out of people's houses. As a foster child, that's really the only thing I really must know. I know I'm up in here, bitch. How the fuck do I get out? Y'all got me up in here, but really, what I need to know is how do I get out? In every foster home, I figured it out. Being in a foster home, this is probably sad, but also liberating in a way. One of the best things, and sad, okay, so everything is a polarity about being a foster child, is when you realize how invisible you are. Okay? Once I understood that people were not necessarily checking for me, that I was invisible, I understood my superpower whore. I said, ma'am, sir, woo, so good. I want to share that lesson with you. I'm telling you, please remember this. There's no reason for you to be shy or afraid to enter any room under any circumstances, because these two things will always remain true. Most people are paying attention to themselves. People ain't thinking about you. They ain't thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves. They're thinking about their own selves, their own thoughts, what they got. Go think about it. Think about where you are and what you got going on. At what time are you truly 100% focused on other motherfuckers? Even in crowded places, it's a lesson, I'm telling you. When next time you're at a restaurant, just be in the restaurant consciously. Every time somebody walk in, look at them or figure out, did you really look at them? And if you did you pay any attention? Did you judge them? And if you did, who gives a fuck? Did that affect them? Like, once you realize 90% of people are not paying your ass any attention, it's going to free you. It's going to free you. It's one of the things I take with me all the time. It's one of the things I take with my kids all the time. You ain't got to worry about it. And I learned that being a foster child, that I was fucking visible. But again, what does that give me now? Great confidence. 9 times out of people ain't looking at me, worrying about what I'm doing, where I'm at. So it's all good. And in this current environment, when I have had an opportunity to hear what humans are saying, talk about CERN, they talk about this and, the end times and the book of Revelations and apocalypse and what's happening in the world is ending. I be thinking, like, you can't really control any of that stuff. I can't control any of that stuff, but I can control what's happening in my current world. And what I've decided is, okay, yeah, the world is ending. Certain parts of my particular world are ending. Certain parts of the way I live are ending. And I'm excited to live a different part of life for whatever length of time we're here. Again, the earth has been here a very long time. I would not be so arrogant to think that we are so powerful and smart enough that we're the motherfuckers that figured out a way to fuck it up completely and totally all in one whop. Right? I don't believe us. We ain't that smart. We ain't that smart and we ain't that courageous. We ain't gonna fuck it up like that. So I don't think we need to be focused on the world ending. I think the only thing we need to be focused on is how do we live more better right now? Well, where we are. Because this is where I'm at. Um I know that the question of if you had no bills, if money wasn't an issue, and you had and time wasn't an issue. So let's just say you had a terminal disease, and you had 10 years to live, and you had no money issues. Okay, what would you be doing? That particular question I've asked myself for quite a bit of time, and I've landed on it, and I've landed on the same answer pretty much. Pretty much. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm doing. That's where I'm moving towards over the next 12 to 18 to 24 months. I am looking to shift my workaday life to something else. And it does take confidence. Hey, dear Nadia, it does take courage. But the one thing I can tell you is if you start now, there's no reason for you to be fearing something you can't change. Don't be worried about if the world is ending. What world do you want to change? There is something I would like to bring to a close in a new world I'd like to experience. That's what I am doing. That's what I'm currently doing. And I'm not going to share everything right now because we've been on here a long time and I already did a Patreon for the book club. But in the coming weeks, I will be bringing you on board to show you the purchases that I've made, um, the preparations that I'm making. And then when I'm out and about, I will be bringing you on the road with me. Okay. And I want to tell you, as someone who is 53, almost 54, it is never too late, regardless of whatever your resources are. If you have it in your heart and your soul that you want to be doing something different and you feel that pull, that urge, and you know, I got to do it now, now's the time, then yes, now is the time. You don't need a whole lot of money. Money is not the issue ever because you will be supported. You will be taken care of. You know, you got a little tiny nest egg somewhere. You know, you got a little SUV or maybe a van or something. You know that you've been thinking about maybe doing, you know, some camping or maybe you thought about living in your car for a week or a month or going to a national park or, you know, applying for a new job or being a digital nomad or, you know, living abroad. You know, I'm going to be taking a sabbatical to go out of the country, but I will be out of the country temporarily because I still live here and I'm still creating my homestead here. But my point is, all these different things that I'm going to be doing and showing you here, these are beginnings for me. But in order for them to be beginnings, I am very conscious of the fact that endings have occurred and continue to have to occur in order for me to move forward, right? I can't do full-time this if I still got a full-time that. I got to get rid of the full-time that before I can do the full-time this. You feel me? All of it is going to take courage. All of it is going to take bravery. But that is the staring fear in the face and saying, hey, what's up, fear? Ooh, you scared the shit out of me. I didn't know that was you right there. But now that I see you and recognize that's you and your job is to scare me and job well done, nigga, I jumped, okay? But also, I still got to go around where I'm going. So fear, you can be right there. See, you saw you shit scared me, nigga. I almost fell, but I got to go around you. Fear is gonna do what it's gonna do. You and me have to move in and past it. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, it is just a shadow. Because long as we're still breathing, existing on this plane as ourselves in this body, then we are not dead. And we have no need to fear death. Because it is just a shadow. That is all we can see here on this side is the shadow of it. So clearly, that's why the word says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Evil, Evie. I will fear no Evil. Enter. Or another way to look at evil is I will fear no. I will not fear to be fully alive, right? I will not fear to live. I will not. And if you really understand language and you understand there's no such thing as, there is a such thing, but technically you don't really need, what's the word, vowels. So then you've got this word here that has, well, there's a vowel there, but LV, love, live. I will fear no evil. I will not fear to live. Most of what we are fearing is about breaking out and being different and separate from whatever has been told and taught to us about what it is we're supposed to be existing as and living and doing. So if you don't live in one of those boxes, or you're like me, you've outgrown the box. Okay, be a wife and a mother. Okay, I'm still a wife, but my kids are grown now. Be a worker. Okay, well, my working years are pretty much done. You feel what I mean? So, and I have, people who have crossed over and left this plane of existence, and I'm of a particular age. So I'm like, well, do I just continue to work myself into the, what if I don't have to anymore? I literally don't have to work anymore. I don't want to anymore also. Let me just say that. There's some things I want to do, places I want to go, things I want to see, things I want to research, things I literally need to be present to do. So I want to do that. Then I must just be courageous and do it. I can't sit up and and shout out to me for not watching the fucking news. Shout out. I'm serious. For you all that are watching the news, I don't even know how you're even existing. I couldn't imagine. It would absolutely paralyze me. And I think in a lot of ways, a lot of you all are paralyzed. I think a lot of you all are paralyzed and unable to move forward in whatever your dream is, because you feel overwhelmed by fear. Overwhelmed by fear. Again, this is no judgment, but I'm going to recommend you consider turning off the TV, man. You got to stop watching the news. You got to stop watching the hashtags. You got to stop. What is it that's bringing to your life somebody on the news telling you anything? Huh? No. You fucking just put the weather app. Make sure you know the 10 days of the weather. That's it. Traffic conditions on the app. Look it up. You don't need to be listening. Think about what is it telling you? It's news. Is it good news? Is it bad news? It ain't good news. What are they telling you? Why are they on there? Why is someone paying to be a part of a broadcast program, a radio broadcast why would someone pay to be a part of someone else telling you something? That's, again, at some point, we got to come up and wake up, or not. Fuck, stay asleep if that's your shit. But if you're awakening out of the matrix and shit, and you're trying to figure out whatever it is, you don't need to be worried and fearing about what's going on in the world. It's the end of the world and the shit. The world is the motherfucking world. The world has been the world. Really about, what is your world about? What are you the master of? What are you controlling as the God of your particular personal universe? Are you loving? Are you kind? Are you gentle? Are you forgiving? Are you anxious? Are you riddled with fear and hopelessness? And are you beating yourself up? Are you suffering from low self-esteem? Are you fucking giving way too much of yourself that you should to somebody who you know good and fucking well don't deserve it? Those are the things you need to be focused on. Fuck the news. That shit is fucking with you. You only need to take care of yourself. You only need to take care of yourself. And I promise you, it ain't no big old deep ass shit. It's the smallest little things in the world. If you would just tell yourself how much you love yourself, tell yourself how sorry you are for the journey that may be painful. Hug yourself and acknowledge the pain. Dang, girl, I recognize we alive like a motherfucker, but being alive is painful sometimes. But it's all good. We here. We're here. And shout out to us. We've made it. For however many years you have been here, bitch, you made it. That's what I tell myself. I be, bitch, we made it. See, I ain't derogatory. It ain't derogatory to me. I tell myself, bitch, we made it, girl. We made it, and we're moving on. We got more shit to do. And I say, D, do you want to spend the next 5, 6, 7 years working? And I go, mm-mm. Then what are you going to do? So I made a plan, and I'm following through with it. Whatever your plan is, listen, love yourself enough to take the time to follow through on your own plans for yourself. Okay? Whatever your plan is. And if you've never taken care of yourself, ever, and the shit I'm talking about is like so fucking far gone, it's okay. I want you to start from the simplest thing you can do. When I first began self-care, I started it very early. I would take my babies to the daycare and drop them off. But I wouldn't go to work. Okay. I'd make sure that was my fucking day off. I'd come back to my apartment. I would turn on my music. I would get in that bubble bath and I would relax. And then I would take a nap. Oh my God. And don't let me have no good weed around, bitch. My best friend Howard, he would come with me. We'd drop the children off together. Me and him would then go to the park, go walk or run for a couple of miles, stop at the fresh grocery, come to my apartment, smoke up, we'll cook, and make some grilled salmon salad, we'll chill out, I might take me a nap after I've taken my good old bath and relax. And then I'd wake up and then go pick up my children. Something as small as that. Get you a babysitter and then take a fucking nap. Small shit. If you get you a little bit of money, go on and drop them babies off. Or if you don't have kids, go get you a hotel room. That's another good self-help thing. If you ain't, you can do it right in your own town. And it ain't got to be nothing fancy. Go on to the Holiday Inn Express, baby. They got some wonderful, wonderful sheets. If you got a little bit more money, if you got a little bit of a hotel that's got a bar down and you want to eat at the bar and have your little drink or whatever and go up to and have your nice bed, if they've got a spa in it, you can really take care of yourself. You can take care of yourself, whatever it takes. And if you have no money, no hotel, and especially if you ain't got no kids, just take the fucking day off. Take the day off. You do not have to go to work every day. You can call out. If you got PTO, take it off. Take it off. Just don't go in. They're going to be all right. Get up early, stretch, relax, take a hot bath, take a nap when you feel like it, lay in your PJs all damn day long. Self-care. It is. Don't worry about what's happening if the world's ending. Worry about your world. Your world is the only one that matters. That's what I'm doing. Today's my Friday. Tomorrow's my day off. I have a couple of appointments. I will be live later. I don't know. I will, but I do have some appointments. But primarily, I'm just going to be taking care of me. That's it. I got some pictures and things added to my vision board down there. I'll be showing you my new vision board. It's the same one, but I've added some pictures. I'm adding some pictures, some things going on. I'm excited. I'm excited about the future. Okay. Not the ending of any worlds. The worlds that are ending are supposed to end, right? If we jump out of our bodies right now, then the world as D in my body in this incarnation will just end. It's fine. And then I'll have another one as whatever the heck I am to be, because we exist forever and ever. You know the energy can't be destroyed, right? Okay, we're only being transformed. So yes, the human coil is something that's flesh. That's not the real me. You are not the real you, which is a great question of who am I? The great axiom, know thyself. That's what this journey for me is in my 50s. If you only live to be, let's say, 200 years old under the very best of circumstances in this world, although there are people living into the 300s in apparently in India. But let's just say 200 is the very best, 120, cap it. Let's say 120, cap it, right? Because that's an average. 120 seems to be something that could be doable under the very best, perfect circumstances. Okay. 120. Let's say you fuck off 20 of them because you're just living an average life. So 100 of them, you get 100 years. Well, if you're 50, you're halfway out of them fuckers. So at some point, you start to focus on the other 50. And then what's going to happen after that? Right? For me, that's where I'm at. I'm like, well, shit, I've been here for 50 something. I've already done this thing, whatever this world says I should do. Now I'd like to focus on other stuff like this. Okay, this is a book called The Theology of the Dreamer. I've been you thousands of times. You will be me once and forever, right? Yeah. So books like that. I've got so many books, but even just this calling, this need to want to examine all of the books and things and theories and religions and philosophies and spirituality and all these things coming on at a particular age makes sense for me, because I'm like, well, I'm at that age, right? Of course. At some point, you can't just be focused on this world. I've already done the focus on this world. I've already made the money on this world. I've done everything to the physical body. I mean, what else you want me to do to it? Shit, I exist outside of just it. We all do. That's what the spiritual life is that taking the time to get to know the world, the internal world, outside of just your five senses and trying to satisfy this flesh all the damn time with entertainment, salt, sex, sugar, alcohol. Alcohol is one of my favorite things. But I'm not having them right this second, or whatever it is. So I'm embracing the second half of life. I'm not looking at anything as an ending. Doors must close, but doors open, right? Endings happen, but beginnings happen. It's all wonderful. So it is the end of several worlds. It is the end of ways of thinking. It is the end of hopefully habits, perchance. For me, it's the end of a particular mindset. I am embracing freedom in a way that I never could have imagined. And to be where I am now from where I started, I know it ain't nothing but God, as we say, right? I could only be being led into this sovereign place. And I love it and I embrace it. And if it doesn't make sense to anybody else, it's okay. It makes sense to me. It makes total sense to me. It gives me such strength in my soul, such confidence in a way that nothing else could. That's that anchor of divine love and power that comes when you really do learn to know yourself. And you don't have to fear what this world coming or going couldn't do for you, because your world with you is whole and complete at all times. So I love you. You have a good night. Thank you for being a part of my Patreon, my YouTube. You're the best. Peace and blessings. Have a